This presentation is about the American Enlightenment. It is defined as the intellectual period that began in the 18th century. It was influenced by the European Enlightenment that started with the scientific revolution of the 17th century and the humanist period during the Renaissance. The Enlightenment took scientific reasoning and applied it to human nature, society, and religion. In the 16th and the 17th centuries, people were beginning to open their minds to new possibilities and ways of thinking, and started to question the Catholic Church and the divine rights of kings. It was a time when curiosity and experimentation took off. The Enlightenment period of the 18th century was based on the belief that the human mind could be expanded in knowledge. During this time, the Catholic Church was so powerful, too restrictive, and too dogmatic. By embracing science, reason, human rights, morality, and nature, this was one way to explore the hidden world and test all possibilities to arrive at the true nature of being. Then, in the 18th century, when America was settled, many of the leaders were also very religious and sided with the Catholic Church. However, a change came about when America took a stand against England. The American people became united. This means that they were willing to put aside their religious beliefs, which eventually led to the division between church and state. The Enlightenment was important in America because it provided the philosophical basis of the American Revolution. The revolution was more than just a protest against English authority, as it turned out. The American Revolution provided a blueprint for the organization of a democratic society. It was an enlightened concept of government whose most profound documents may have been the American Declaration of Independence and United States Constitution. Thomas Jefferson was an important figure who enhanced the concepts of enlightenment. Jefferson argued that God has created mind free. Then, if it is forced or extremely influenced, it would lead to hypocrisy. Jefferson even went so far in his argument to the extent he edited his own version of the Bible. The period of enlightenment actually in America was a turning point in the American history. It paved the way to American Revolution and changed the relationship between people and church forever. Actually, it is one of the most important periods in shaping of the American mind in a way or another. So now let's talk on the main ideas of the American Enlightenment. The Enlightenment caused a shift in the culture and social attitudes of the people, bringing in some new and radical ideas that can be summarized as following. The first idea is republicanism. Enlightenment brought the idea of republicanism as a system of government that is elected by the people of the nation. The second principle is individual liberty. Individual liberty was considered as the slogan of this area, which forms the cornerstone of. The last principle is religious tolerance. Freedom of religion was not allowed to Protestants in New England. Enlightenment focused on the freedom of choice of religion and on the separation between state and church. These ideas turned the masses into action, as the people dreamed of shaping their own futures. Adopted by the founding fathers, Enlightenment ideals became the vision for modern-day America, where these ideologies are deeply rooted in the nation. What can be deduced from the period of Enlightenment is that it helped lead to a more secular society. It's played a major role in creating the principle of separation of church and state and the religious freedom clauses of the First Amendment of the Constitution. Its weakness, the role of the church in society. It is true that after Revolution, religion in America lost its powerful position as a dominant institution, but it is thanks to the ideas of the Enlightenment that people became aware of the idea of the freedom of religious choice. It can be also argued that Enlightenment paved the way to the emergence of recent ideologies such as capitalism, since Enlightenment introduced the concept of freedom of thought and belief. Then it was the basis that people start to use the reason in their daily lives.